And he said, "Sir, I need you to put down the life-size cardboard cutout of shirtless Jeff Goldblum. Think of the children."
Oh, Sir Sic, you do make me laugh. Anyway, I'm just about to check out the Flat Earth TV network. Apparently there's a new trailer coming out for a new soap opera called LIGO.
This is a story of how the people at LIGO deal with having their lives ripped apart. They dedicated their lives to a so-called gravitational wave detector. They believe that these two buildings, 3 million meters apart, each had two 4,000 meter long vacuum tubes that had been built by taking the Earth's curvature into account. They believed that they had been successful in detecting gravitational waves using equipment that was capable of measuring changes in distance as small as 1/10,000th of the diameter of a proton. So just how will this team of pseudoscientists cope when they realise everything has been a lie and gravity has been debunked by a woman on YouTube using a blueberry floating in a glass of water?
It's not gravity, this is density. This is an extraordinary explanation of density right here. That one blueberry floating on the top. We just did science, guys. March 1st, 2018. We just did science. We just proved that gravity is a bunch of bull crap.
I know I shouldn't be surprised by this point, but I am. In fact, the stupidity of the comment, "We just did science, guys," is only outweighed by the confidence in which that same statement was delivered.
I know, mate, but you get used to that on this channel. Happens all the time.
When you got to the airport, the runway was flat, wasn't it? But you can't have flat runways on a ball, can you?
Told you.
Anyway, what's on the Flat Earth cooking channel?
Well, not a great deal, I'm afraid. I mean, they always start off with the best of intentions, but every show seems to go the same way. They just weigh a bunch of ingredients and then repeat the phrase, "Gravity doesn't exist." Watch.
Today on Cooking Without Gravity, we shall be using the following ingredients.
1 litre of water,
This apple,
an orange, an egg, this bottle of pesto, a plant.
But let's not be hasty. Before we cook with these bad boys, we need to weigh them, and we also need to forget that weight and mass are completely different things.
We can see that this egg weighs 64.1 grams.
weighs 120.8 grams. 100.
Its weight, 1 kilogram.
Now it's time to just dick around with your ingredients, as if you've never seen a set of weighing scales before in your life.
I can add a force and push it down. Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Haha, of course it is. And now that you're nearly done, it's time to just make up a conclusion that has absolutely nothing to do with the measurements that you've just taken.
We cannot prove scientifically is that it is the mass of the Earth making this water weigh 1 kilogram.
The globe Earth is all in our heads and only in mathematical equations. It is not our physical reality. Thank you very much.
Well, that was just inspirational.
Well, not as inspirational as a poetry channel. Check this out.
Conspiracy Cats has done a video.
That is his game.
But I saw the first one he did, and
it didn't affect my brain.
And they've even had a go at children's TV. Their version of Fireman Sam is appalling.
Are these flames defying gravity by going up?
Cats? Aren't they just repeats?
Yeah. I was hoping people wouldn't notice. Thanks. Anyway, next up is Nathan Thompson's Flat Earth International Conference speech. I thought we could watch that and then have a jolly good laugh at it. What do you think?
Well, actually, on Flat Earth TV Channel 2, they're showing that Mark Sargent's epic Flat Earth speech, and I want to laugh at that.
Okay, problem solved. I'll make a video on Nathan Thompson's speech, you make a video on Mark Sargent's speech, viewers can watch both of them, and then they can vote in the community polls on our channels which Flat Earther gave the worst speech. What do you think?
That's a great idea. I'm on it.
Fantastic. Now, if you check out the description to this video, you'll find a link to Sir Sic's channel and his video on Mark Sargent. I highly recommend you go and check it out. All this stuff is absolutely brilliant. Sir Sic, after I've made my video on Nathan Thompson, are you going to come back over here and read out some funny comments with me?
You know it, sugar tits.
Right. Brilliant. Anyway, let's get on with the show and introduce the man himself, shall we? He is Flat Earth's answer to the question that nobody asked. He is to science what Nathan Oakley is to a revolving door. And by that I mean highly confused. It's Nathan Thompson.
Please welcome to the stage Mr. Nathan Thompson.
Nathan Thompson is a flat earther like no other, full of love and compassion for his fellow human beings.
Love is patient and kind, right? So when we're sharing this, have that in your heart, you know, that we need to deliver the truth with love.
And here he is delivering the truth with love, as he accuses an astrophysicist of being a liar.
So, if you're lying to kids, the Bible says you should go kill yourself.
And all this was just a few short weeks before he himself was arrested for lying to children, telling them that the earth was flat.
Hey guys, you're not on a ball in space! The earth is flat!
He is the man every father wants his daughter to bring home.
We do not allow cursing or insults.
And here he is, not cursing and not insulting people.
Screw you, dude. Stop stealing people's money. I can talk to whoever I want to. It's a free country, you goofball. Come on, dude, you little NASA liar. Stealing everyone's money.
And best of all, he's created his own brain training program that causes his own feet to grow.
So, man, my feet are getting bigger. I grew 4 shoe sizes since I've started this program.
So just like Mark Sargent in Sir Sic's video, Nathan is going to introduce to us 5 globe-killing points.
Cats?
Yes, mate.
Is point number 1 going to be explaining how we see boats vanishing bottom up as they go over the horizon?
I don't know, mate, but if it's not his first point, I am 100% confident he will get to it eventually and explain it perfectly.
Globe Earth killer point number 1 cannot be debunked.
This is what mainstream science will teach you. A violation of the first law of thermodynamics, matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Now you heard that correctly. Flat Earther Nathan Thompson is going to explain to us how the first law of thermodynamics debunks the Big Bang, and I can't wait to hear him explain it because this is my understanding of the first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics says that the change in the internal energy of a system, represented here by delta U, is going to be equal to the energy added or removed from the system as heat minus the work done to or by the system. One application of this is that if no heat energy is added to or removed from a system, but that system still does work, then the change in the internal energy will be negative. We see this in a fridge with adiabatic expansion, where a fluid is allowed to do work or expand as it comes out of a nozzle, and this causes a drop in the internal energy, which is why the temperature drops. Now with that in mind, I know what you're asking. What possible flaw could Nathan Thompson have spotted in the Big Bang Theory that makes him stand on stage and tell people that the Big Bang was truly impossible? Well, his explanation is truly out of this world, and I promise you, this is the explanation he gave.
I can't tell you what's wrong with it, you just gotta see it for yourself.
Wow.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, I really think I need to hear that hard-hitting, well-explained Big Bang Theory debunking argument just one more time.
I can't tell you what's wrong with it, you just gotta see it for yourself.
Now, far be it from me to try and guess what Nathan Thompson was trying to regurgitate, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to talk about the law of conservation of energy. Some people in the past have questioned the Big Bang and how the law of conservation of energy and the creation of the universe come together. But far better physicists and astronomers than I will tell you that the Big Bang talks about the evolution, not the creation of the universe. And in fact, we have an expert astronomer right here, right now, who's going to tell us all about the Big Bang. Ranty, mate, what happened?
Funny as.
Yeah, fair enough. I won't disagree. So, globe killing point number 2. Let's hear it.
Is it boats?
Well, let's find out, mate, and hopefully he can do a better job with this one.
Globe killing point number 2. This one takes at least 5 minutes of research to debunk.
The impossibility number 2, guys. This eclipse right here, August 21st, 2017, went from Oregon, traveled west to east to South Carolina.
Okay, so he wants to talk about eclipses. Now, before he makes his point, I've got something to say about that. So some flat earthers imagine a solar eclipse to look like this, with the shadow of the moon, represented by this red dot, falling on the earth here. They then imagine that as the earth spins, that shadow should be seen moving from east to west. But in reality, of course, the moon isn't stationary, it's orbiting the earth like this. And as my high-tech graphic shows, this should result in a very predictable movement of that shadow from the west to the east. But surely, given the fact that Nathan Thompson has done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of not researching this topic, he surely isn't going to make the very elementary mistake of showing us an animation with a stationary moon, surely. Is he?
So what you do is you line up the moon on the day of the eclipse, you zoom in so that the sun is directly behind you, and then we're going to click play. And something's interesting is going to happen, guys. The moon is going to move from east to west.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh no indeed. Point number 3.
Is it boats?
I don't know, mate. This is live. Let's just find out. This one is even more stupid than the last.
Impossibility number 3. You go to College Station, Texas, lay down on your back, look at the sky, pick out a couple stars. And then 6 months from then, lay on your back, pick out a couple stars, and see if they're completely different or all the same.
Right, so stars in the night sky. Now, yet again, I think I know where Nathan Thompson is heading with this one, because when I teach the solar system topic to 11-year-old children, a very, very small percentage of them have the same misconception until it's explained to them, and then they instantly understand it. But if I am right, this is where I think Nathan is heading. You see, many flat earthers visualise the solar system in 2 dimensions only, very much like a young child might.
I am not behaving like a child. You are not willing to listen to the evidence that I have garnered. I have garnered evidence.
Calm down, Travis, not talking about you this time. Anyway, this very simplistic view makes them believe that in the summer and in the winter, the night sky must be facing completely different directions, therefore all the stars in the sky must be different. So let's find out. Am I right?
Nighttime's going to be over here January 1st. Now I'm orbiting, I'm going around the sun. Now I'm over here July 1st. This is nighttime. This should be an entirely different night sky than what I saw over there, but...
Stop right there, because the next words out of this man's mouth truly demonstrate high IQ, flat earth research. Either that, or he's deliberately telling porcupines. You decide.
It's all the same stars.
Yeah, amazing. Now, before we explain to Nathan Thompson exactly why he's wrong, it's time to add Nathan Thompson to our growing list of flat earth astronomers, and it's quite a bunch.
I think the sun is liquid.
What appears to be a second moon behind the full moon.
Yeah, they reckon that there may be what's called a black sun in the sky, which causes it.
Who owns the moon?
This mass, this weight is space weight.
Yeah, we have seen over the last 12 months some amazing astronomy coming out of the flat earth community, but for now, let's correct Nathan Thompson, explain to him why he's wrong, and I am 100% confident he will listen, he will understand, and he'll take on board everything we're saying. Of course, anybody who's ever actually lived and opened their own eyes knows that the stars are not exactly the same 6 months apart. What you can see on the screen right now is a simple breakdown showing which constellations are seasonal from the northern hemisphere and which ones can be seen all year round. And for any flat earthers watching, the arrows on this high-tech graphic show why some constellations are seasonal, while these new arrows here show why some constellations can be seen all year round. Now, globe killing point number 4.
Is it boats?
Listen mate, no it's not, but if I tell you that I know it's not boats, then people are going to know that this isn't actually live, and they're going to know we've filmed it before and edited it. Completely pointless point number 4.
So here's the curvature, guys, the curvature chart. Pull up AutoCAD, Sagitta, Pythagorean theorem.
So it does appear that for globe killing point number 4, Nathan Thompson is going to use geometry and trigonometry, which anyone who's watched my channel for a while might be highly surprised at, because we all know when I debated Nathan Thompson and I asked him to use trigonometry to find out the length of a side of a triangle, he couldn't do it, because the lengths were given to him in kilometres and not miles.
How would you calculate it, Nathan?
I mean, so your argument is that the north, I personally can't calculate that. I don't work in kilometers. I normally work in miles.
But anyway, the reason Nathan Thompson has brought up geometry and trigonometry is so he can tell us that the Earth curve calculator is wrong, and sometimes we actually see further than the geometry of the Earth should allow. And of course he uses the famous 57-mile Chicago skyline shot, which is such a famous shot because we very rarely see it. This is a similar argument to the flat Earth black swan photograph. Flat earthers get very excited about this photograph because once in a blue moon, they're able to see all the way to the bottom of the oil rig on the left, which is 10 miles away, much further away than the horizon should be. But as we all know, these very infrequent observations are not the norm, and they require extreme atmospheric conditions for us to be able to see them. Something that, it turns out, friend of the channel Sean Hawkins has already pointed out to Nathan Thompson.
This is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Sean Hawkins on YouTube told me, but we can't see it every day. I said, dude, you can't see your car in front of your house if it's foggy.
But what we can see every single day are images like this one. Now, I've made a video on this image in the past and it destroys the flat earth completely, and I've linked that in the description. Now, finally, globe killing point number 5, and Sir Sic, I think you're going to be a little bit excited for this one. It is boats going over the horizon. Are you looking forward to it?
You know it's sparkle ass.
So, let's see Nathan Thompson finally explain, if the earth is flat, why do boats appear to vanish bottom up as they go over the horizon? This should be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please brace yourself as Flat Earth hero Nathan Thompson finally explains to all of us why boats vanish bottom up as they travel over the horizon.
Guys, this is a 2-hour presentation. If you want me to come to your church, you want to come to your school, you want to do a presentation in your area, let me know. I got this all ready, but for time, I got to cut it short, so I apologize about that, guys.
Oh no, what a surprise. He ran out of time and yet again failed to explain why boats appear to vanish bottom up as they go over the horizon. We are all shocked. Please go and watch Mark Sargent's speech on Sir Sic's video, and then don't forget to vote in my community poll who you think gave the worst speech. But for now, Chatbox Travels. Chat Box Travels. Space comma.
And she said, fine, but don't forget to put on your Batman costume.
Oh man, it's one story after another with this guy. What a legend. Anyway, welcome back to Chatbox Travels. This is the part of the show where I open myself up to be educated by the comments left by flat earth science specialists on a whole host of subjects. Anyway, before we get into the first comment, I just want to say it's been a while since I've done my last Chatbox Travels, and since then, I found a few things pretty confusing. Yes, I've been confused about how a brewery could actually accidentally name one of its own beers pubic hair. I've been confused about how this was even possible. And I've been confused about how anybody could start off with enough confidence in their own ability to restore a centuries-old painting of Jesus Christ, only to then produce this. But having said that, nothing at all has confused me anywhere as much as this comment. Hello, my name is Coolio Grangeback, and this comment is a masterpiece. Watch. For the whole discussion, cats cannot explain gas pressure without a container. Now, I've written that as if I know what I'm talking about. But wait, I'll soon dispel that myth. Cats, the pressure changes as you go up because heat and cold entropy happens with the sun. Now, I am aware that that might only sound stupid to people who know what entropy is, so I'm going to step it up a notch again. Air isn't the only gas in the atmosphere. Yeah, I actually said that. Air isn't the only gas in the atmosphere. These hands deliberately typed those words. And believe it or not, I can even top that, because I want to say I would believe that car gas expands quicker than air being heated. Yeah, piece that one together. You know, in all honesty, I have no idea what he means by car gas and why it expands faster than air being heated. But I'm going to sit here until I figure it out. Car gas expanding quicker than air being heated. No clue. And now time for our science expert of the week.
Science expert of the week.
Hello, just me. Now, I've been watching your channel with great interest, and I thought I'd pop by to share my expert knowledge on viruses. I think you might benefit from what I've got to say. You see, I don't know if you're aware, and it's funny, not many people are, that viruses aren't actually real, they're just sci-fi, and in fact you've got as much chance of being trampled to death by a herd of stampeding pink unicorns of catching a virus. Yeah, it's a funny fact, and it slips people by. Wow, you know, I'll be honest, but I did not know that. Oh, hang on, breaking news.
Breaking news just in. Roger Baker has been trampled to death by a herd of stampeding pink unicorns.
A man who goes by the name of Mr. Baker was trampled to death by a herd of what looks like pink unicorns today. It doesn't seem he was caught off guard, and witnesses say he was looking right at them for at least 23 minutes before they ran over him. It seems he didn't react to them coming towards him, because despite all the evidence supporting their approach, he chose not to believe in them. This artist's impression shows the aftermath of today's instance. Please look away if you have sympathy for people who are willfully ignorant.
Now, you might have read on that news flash that an honest flat earther has actually come out and admitted that there is zero evidence for a flat earth. And that wasn't a joke.
That I have got nothing to talk about. I agree with you. I've got no proof for a flat earth. I concede that. And I don't mind conceding points.
And there we have it, finally, an honest flat earther. And this is for you. Anyway, back to the comments. And now, the most ironic comment of the week.
The most ironic comment of the week.
Hello, it's me, Johnny Ammy Jussy Pants, and I just popped by to say that you globbers are very low IQ thinkers. Have that.
Well, thank you very much, Johnny. Your input is always special. Now, who remembers a time I debated Kent Hovind and he said the reason kangaroos live in Australia is because the tigers chase them there? It spawned this song.
All the kangaroos were in a dot. You believe the kangaroos came from the dot? Yeah. All the kangaroos were in a dot. The dot exploded. What happened to all the kangaroos? The dot exploded. What happened to all the kangaroos? The dot exploded.
Oh, Kent, give it a rest.
Conspiracy cat.
What is it? What do you want to know?
What happened to all the kangaroos?
Oh, I didn't know you could whistle.
Yeah.
It was very good, really, yeah.
Thank you, brother.
So if you could sum up your performance in our last debate, what would you say?
Real dumb.
Now, I quite like that song and that video was quite popular, but it does appear that it's not appreciated by everybody.
Hello, my name's Benjamin Button, and actually, I didn't appreciate that song, and I'm going to fire the question right back at you. You ready? How does kangaroos exists in Australia? It's a good start, that, isn't it? Do you think they had the same process on every continent? Either this or you believe in Pangaea, which is also absurd. Neither one of the sides have any sort of conclusion about this fact at all.
Right, and that being, of course, except for the side of science, which has this conclusion. Now, we've just got time for one last comment, and that's going to be from the main man himself, Nathan Thompson. After all, he does deserve the right to reply, and I am sure that he's not going to waste it. So let's hear his words of wisdom.
Hello, it's me, Nathan Thompson. I just want to pop by and say I loved your video. I'm going to take on board everything you said. You made a lot of points. I'm going to call you... Oh, what's happened to my apostrophe button? Never mind, I don't need that. You're still scientifically illiterate. Yeah, I like to say that. And then see if you can read the rest of this without any punctuation. You ready? You deny basic fluid dynamics because Earth is a ball, not a closed container. It's not analogous to a train car. Tried taking the roof off Ukraine munching clown. Whew. Wow.
Truly unique way with words. Now, please don't forget to check out the video I've linked in the description, which will take you to Mark Sargent's speech on Sir Sic's channel. And when you've watched them both, you can look at our community poll and you can vote who has done the worst flat earth speech, Mark Sargent or Nathan Thompson. But for now, goodbye.
So, man, my feet are getting bigger. I grew 4 shoe sizes since I've started this program.
Cats, conspiracy cats.
And don't forget Sir Sic. Thank you.
Feel the vibe. Like and subscribe and take off your hats to conspiracy cats.
And then I said, okay, I'll clean it, but I did warn you this would happen.